Good morning students, myself Dr. Shirisha, Associate Professor from CSE Department, MLR Institute of Technology. In this session, I just wanted to tell you how to connect to database using PHP. So in PHP, we use a XAMPP server and also MySQL for connecting to database. So in this session, I wanted to tell you what is MySQL and benefits of PHP and MySQL and handling the SQL queries. What is MySQL? A database system used on the web. So when you wanted to connect to any database, this is one of the database server which is a database, MySQL. A database system that runs on a server and ideal for both small and also the large applications. When you wanted to do a simple application also, you can go for MySQL. If you wanted to develop a large application, then also you can opt for MySQL. It's very fast, reliable and easy to use. Whatever the data it is sent across using either post method or using different forms. So that data can be easily stored or easily sent across the server and it will get stored. So it is compatible with any operating system and so it is fast and reliable, easy to use. It uses standard SQL. If you know SQL, the prerequisite for this MySQL is the SQL only. So if you know the commands how to use in SQL, you can go with PHP MySQL also. It compiles number of platforms on a number of platforms, so you can use it anywhere and it is free to download and use. So open source, MySQL and XAMPP server is open source. So in XAMPP only you will have Apache Tomcat server and also this MySQL is given in XAMPP server. So that is the reason it is named as XAMPP where M stands for MySQL. And it is developed, distributed and supported by Oracle Corporation. Okay, so that is why it is used and integrated with all the three, PHP and also MySQL with the server. So what are the benefits using PHP and SQL? PHP is a server-side scripting language that we all know by this time. It has an ability to create a dynamic pages. So we are giving the dynamic web page because whatever the data that user is entering, that only we are storing. We are not giving any static data there. So it is dynamically created with customized features. Using PHP, MySQL, user-friendly and interactive websites can be created. Interactive means what? Whatever the data that user is giving, that only we are taking. If the user is not giving the data, we are giving warning there. Suppose if you have a phone number as one input. If the user is giving some name here in the text format, then we have to give validation here. We have to do the validation and give the error message saying that please input numbers. So that what user will understand, okay, this is phone number, I am entering text, I should enter numbers. Then he will go with numbers here. So this is what interaction, okay. And both the PHP and also MySQL are open source technologies. For this we can download XAMPP or XAMPP. For this you can download MySQL and that works hand in hand to create rich internet applications. And due to the availability of these technologies as free of cost, cost-effective web solutions can be created. Whatever the applications that you wanted to develop, that you can develop freely because they are open source. And we'll see some more benefits. Since HTML can be embedded within the PHP, there is no need to write a separate code for web scripting. Because when you have executed this form here, when you are sending the data or when you wanted to retrieve the form data, that means what? It is a form input. Form input is sent to PHP. Okay, for which we have to create a HTML page. So HTML and PHP both are integrated. So we are using here. The most popular websites for being developed using PHP and MySQL are Facebook, yes, WordPress, yes, Wikipedia, yes, Yahoo. So these are the few sample popular websites that I can tell you and these are developed by using this PHP and MySQL. Handling SQL queries. So if you know SQL, these MySQL queries are also very similar to your SQL queries. So once you need a XAMPP server, once XAMPP is installed, in the control panel, we are starting first Apache, right? Then what you are starting? MySQL. So if these two are getting started, okay, You need not to install SQL again separately. Only we are using this XAMPP for as it is integrated with all this. So my PHP admin also will be there, something like this. So when you are using these things, you have to first connect it to the database. So for connectivity, you need some code to be written. So what is the code that you will write, or what is the command that you have to give for connecting to the database? To connect to the database in PHP, we have to use create first. So create database. What is database name that you are giving here? So these two are predefined. Create database. What is the name of the database that you have to pass? Semicolon. How to display all the databases? So once a database is created, if the name is repeated, that means if it is already created, then you will get an error saying that database is already existed. Then what you have to do? First you have to check whether how many databases are already there in the input in the databases. So for that you have to use show databases. So that suppose if I wanted to create database ABC. If ABC is already existed, it will give you an error message saying that ABC is existing. Okay, existing database. Then you can go with ABC1. So like that, how many you have, how to know? These are all examples I am telling, database examples. So this list you can see using this show databases command. Then selecting a particular database. When you have multiple database, in one database only you have to use extract and create the tables and all in that. Then we have to use command. Use followed by the database name. If you see only for create, we are giving a keyword database here, and show database name. No, only you are giving show the name of the database. All the databases, right? Similarly, if you see use database name, that means whatever the database name. If you are giving ABC, just give use ABC. Thereafter, whatever the tables that you are creating will be stored inside what? ABC database. Then creating a table. So you have used this database name, say ABC, and here now you wanted to create a table. So how to create a table in MySQL? Just to give create table. Here for create database we have given create database. Here create table, table name. So what are the values that you have to pass for the table name? So what are the fields that you wanted to create? So I want the first column of this will be ID and the next column will be name. Okay, and the ID will be obviously an integer. Name will always be string. So here along with the name of the fields ID and name, we have to give its type also. So for ID we are giving integer, size also we are passing as 4. For string in SQL, how to give a string type? Varchar. So varchar of size. So here it is given as 20. So how to create a table? Just to use create table, table name followed by the parameters along with the data type. Then displaying a table. So displaying a database, we have used show databases. Similarly, for displaying a table, we have to use show tables. So all these are the commands that you have to know first to use that in the program within the PHP. So to know how to connect or how to use all these commands and connect it to the database, we'll see in the next session. And there are also few commands displaying table fields. So describe the table name. What does describe will do? Suppose if you have create a table 1, say let us give CSE of some ID and name, ID with say integer, ID as integer 5 and say name let us give it as varchar, because type we have to give, so we are giving the type. So if you are creating this, I should see what is there in table the CSE. Then if you give describes CSE, then what will be displayed? Both ID and name will be displayed. If you have the values for them, your values will also be printed. So this is describing, means displaying the table fields. Insert the values into the table. So you will get one is ID and the other one is a name, right? So if you wanted to insert some IDs and name also, then you have to use insert into. Into is again like a keyword. Okay, insert is again a keyword. Okay, table name, say ABC, values. So ID and name already you have created using when you are creating a table. So here you are passing the values. So ID 1 and some name. So this is how to insert. Insert into table, table name, values. Then displaying the contents of the table, you can also, if you wanted to just see the fields, then go with the describe table name. If you wanted to see the contents also, then we are using the select star from table name. When you give select star from table name, you also get the content. So ID, name, so 1, Vikram. This will be the output for what? Your select star from ABC. If you give describe ABC, so for this you will just get ID, name, because these two are only the fields that we have inserted or created. Then updating the record. When I wanted to change the name of this Vikram to Virat, so I should use this update keyword. Update means modify. Update table name, say ABC. Okay, set, because you are giving the value, new value there. So giving or assigning is just nothing but setting. Set name equals to Virat, where ID is equals to 1. So what is the ID? This one. If you have 10 records here, out of which one should be updated? First one should be updated. That is the reason we are giving where ID equals to as 1. Then deleting the record. Delete from table name where ID is equals to 1. Delete from table name ABC where ID equals to 1. If you have 10 records, that first record will be deleted. It will be displaying 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so on, whatever existing. This first record will be deleted. Delete table. Completely if you wanted to delete the table, then we will go with drop table. Or else if you wanted to delete only particular row, then you have to just conditional statement should be written using the delete command. So in this session we have discussed about what is MySQL, okay, and what are its benefits. Then handling the SQL queries, how to handle the SQL queries. Now with the help of example, we'll see in the next section. Thank you.